In today's video I'm going to plant some sweet pea seeds. So here I have got my package of seed which has got sweet pea and petunia seeds in it. There are 6 sachets, three varieties of sweet peas and 3 varieties of petunias. So today I'm gonna just plant Spencer, multiflora, mammoth blue and stripes mix. These are 3 varieties of sweet peas. Sweet pea seeds can be sown from January to April. These are cold hardy, so they can take a little bit of cold and frost, so you can sow them from January to April. You can do them like winter sowing method. I haven't tried that method yet, but that can be done as well. Or you can sow them like indoors. You can put them in a bright sunny windowsill where they get enough sunlight, or you can plant them in your greenhouse. So I'm in the middle of March. These are annual flowering plants which I'm gonna start from seeds. So annual flowering plants mean like they will flower for only one season. Like we sow them this time of year and then they start blooming from like May to June. Some bloom from like June to September, or some bloom up until November, and then when the frost come they are died back. So here they have given the information about each variety. This is sweet pea which is Spencer multiflora. It's like it can go up to 250 centimeter tall, quite tall variety. So basically sweet peas can climb. They have got tendrils and they have a climbing tendency, so it's good idea to plant them with the support of a trellis or some sort of climbing support, so then they can flourish. Here's the second variety, which is early mammoth. These are kind of blue or purple flowers. This can go up to 250 centimeter. And then sweet pea, which is stripes mixture. It's like they have got lovely stripes on them, kind of different light colors. Looks very beautiful. Can go up to 250 centimeter tall as well. Instruction manual says sow seeds into fine, warm and moist compost indoors. Sweet pea start seeds indoors from January and ideally soak seeds for 24 hours before sowing. Sow seeds 30 centimeter apart, 2 centimeter deep, and placed in a warm environment of up to 18 degrees centigrade. Seedlings can be transplanted outdoors from April, and when ground is warmer, spaced out to 20 centimeter apart. Sweet pea plants are natural climbers, so opt for a position in the garden where they can climb up a trellis or wall. Remove stem tips after 3 to 4 pairs of leaves have grown to promote extra flowers. So here you can see I have opened the packaging to see how the seeds look like. And there are these 3 sachets here, and these are sweet pea seeds, which kind of big seeds. You can see these are not normal edible pea seeds which we eat. These are not edible. These are like decorative flowers, ornamental purpose, and they are like 10 to 20 seeds in each package. So I'm gonna soak them now, and then I'll be planting them tomorrow, and I'll show you how I do it. So today is the next day. Yesterday I soaked my sweet pea seeds here in this cups. So it's been 24 hours nearly. So I'm gonna plant them today. So here I have got my tray. I have filled the tray with multi-purpose compost, nice and tight. Make sure there are no air pockets. So this looks nice and ready. I'm going to water it, make it a little bit moist so the soil settles well before I put my seed in here. So sweet pea seeds can be started from January to April, anytime in January to April. They are cold hardy, so they can tolerate a little bit of frost. So you can start them indoors or in a greenhouse or in a bright sunny windowsill. So here I'm going to put 1 seed in each hole. You need to plant them at least like 1 centimeter to 2 centimeters deep. You may put 2 seeds per hole because sometimes some seeds do not germinate. Germination rate is not 100% all the time, so some holes can be empty. So to avoid that, you can put 2 seeds per hole if you like, and then you can thin them later on or transplant them. So here I have put 1 seed in each hole, and I'm going to cover the soil with soil, and I'm going to do the next tray for the remaining seeds. So I have got half of the seeds in here, and these are 24 cells in this 38 centimeter long seed starting tray. So I think I have done almost half, so maybe another tray of sweet pea seeds I need to do. I have got these sweet pea plants growing in this seed starting tray, and I started these plants from seeds last month. So I put 1 seed in each cell, and there are 24 cells in each tray, and as you can see, almost half of the seeds germinated, so it's like 50% germination rate, which is okay. I still have lots of plants, and I'm going to plant them in this big patio container now. This is 55 centimeter diameter patio container, which is quite big, and it can hold up to 50 to 60 liters of soil in it. So I have filled it with topsoil in the bottom, and I have added 1 to 2 inches of multi-purpose compost in it. This is quite good quality compost. It has some fertilizer already added to it, and I'm also going to add some chicken manure pellets, which is organic slow release fertilizer. It has 4% nitrogen, 1.5% phosphorus, and 2% potassium. So I'm backing it in the top layer of the soil, so you don't need to add the fertilizer too deep in the soil, because the plants will not be able to utilize it if it's too deep. So just work the fertilizer in the top edge of the soil, and this will get the plants established quickly. So I have watered the soil well, so it's nice and moist and loose, so there shouldn't be any big lumps in the soil. And you need to make sure there is good drainage as well, so the water does not stay in there, it drains well. And also good quality compost or potting mix also ensures that it drains well and it doesn't become waterlogged. If you use the soil from your own garden, it is kind of compact and heavy, and it's not good for the plants in the containers. So here you can see I have planted my first sweet pea plants in it. So I'm just making a little hole and putting the plant in. It has got nice root system going on. They need to go in a big patio container now, because they are running out of their small seed starting cells. We are having quite sunny weather these days, but the nights are still cold. But sweet peas can take a little bit of cold, so they are quite cold tolerant, so they should be all right planting outside now. This is the beginning of April, so I think it will be all right. And I'm planting them like 2 to 3 inches apart from each other, and I am hoping to plant all of the plants in this big patio container, and I will be putting a trellis in it, so then they can climb up the trellis. Sweet peas can grow huge, and they need support to climb on it. So whether you plant them in patio container or in the ground or in a raised bed, make sure to provide them some kind of support with a trellis, with an arch maybe, or something which can help them to climb up. So You can see on this plant it has got two branches because I pinched the tip off the other day and it is growing another branch which is good. So it's highly recommended that you do pinch off the tips, which will help the plant to grow bushier so it can produce more branches and ultimately more blooms. So that's why we are growing these plants. These are ornamental sweet pea plants. We grow them for their flowers, which are beautiful fragrant flowers, and they make an excellent cut flower. We can use them in cut flower arrangements and they produce really beautiful show of blooms all summer long. So here I have got three varieties of sweet peas: stripes mix, mammoth blue, and Spencer multiflora. And I hope that I have got plants germinated of each variety. I didn't label them because there wasn't any clear marking on the seed packs. So I have got all the plants in this container and now I'm going to water them thoroughly to make sure they are really moist. The soil was kind of dry, so I watered in the beginning before putting the plants in to make the compost moist, and it's important to water them afterwards as well to give them a really good soak so they will be happy in their new home. Especially if you live in a dry climate, keep an eye on and check the soil, top pitch of the soil. If it feels dry, so then you can water them. And here I'm making sure that they are compact. They are a bit floppy, but that's all right. They will recover soon. It could happen when you transplant your seedlings. So here I'm going to pinch off the tips of all the plants which I haven't done. So I tipped off 3 or 4 plants the other day and I'm going to pinch off the tips of the other plants today, so then they can produce more branches and ultimately more blooms. I do want to make clear for those who may not know that these sweet peas are ornamental plants. We grow them for their flowers. They are not edible sweet peas which we grow for the peas they produce. So these are not edible. In fact, they are toxic, so you should not plant them anywhere where there can be children or pets. So these are quite toxic, so these are only grown for ornamental purpose. So I have got all the plants in. I have pinched the tips off. The soil is really nice and moist. I have included a slow release fertilizer which will feed them, and once they start blooming I will start fertilizing them on a 2 weekly schedule with a water soluble fertilizer which will help with more blooms. So this is the update on my sweet pea plants 6 weeks later in the middle of July. And you can see they are loaded with blooms. These blooms are really beautiful, lots of color, and they smell awesome as well. They can be used for cut flower arrangements. In fact, I'm going to harvest most of these blooms today for making a fresh flower arrangement. So more you harvest, more they produce for you. And if you don't harvest these blooms, they will go to seed and the plant will think that its life cycle is done now, so it will stop producing more flowers. So the trick is to harvest more and more flowers to use in your fresh flower arrangements indoors so the plants keep producing for you. And you can see there are 3 varieties of plants here. So one is mammoth blue which has blue color flowers. The other is Spencer multiflora which has 2 toned petals. So one petal is of dark color like this red one, and the other is light color which is like purple one. And the third variety is stripes mix, which is this white flower with pink stripes in it. So these are really beautiful flowers. I really adore them. They are so eye-catching and color up my garden really well. And I will absolutely grow them again next year. So this is after 2 months at the end of August. Here you can see I have got sweet pea plants in this big container, and they are done blooming. They have formed these seed pods which are nice and plump. So I want to harvest as many seed pods as possible. You can leave them on the plants as long as possible, like you want to harvest them when they're fully dry. I have got few seed pods which are fully dry and ready to be picked, but most of them are still green. But we are getting lots of rain now, so if I leave them on the plant will get powdery mildew and the seed pods can get moldy. So I don't want to happen that. So I'm going to harvest as many seed pods as possible, and I'm going to remove the plants and put them in my brown bin. But you can leave them on the plant as long as they can get dry if you live in a dry climate. So here you can see I have got plenty of seed pods here, so I'm going to harvest all of them. I started them in March indoors, then I planted them out in this container in May, and they started blooming in June, and they have been blooming since then. So I can't really ask for more because we are approaching the end of the season now. We are getting lots of rain, it's getting cold, and most of the plants will start getting moldy. So I don't want to push it too much by deadheading them. So I just want to collect my seed pods so they are nice and ready. If I have been deadheading on these plants, the seed pods won't form in time and won't be fully mature enough so I can harvest them. So it depends on your choice, your preference, whether you want your plants to keep blooming for you for longer or you want to collect seed pods. You need to weigh your pros and cons, and you need to figure out your climatic conditions, and it all depends on that. So here I have collected all the seed pods which were nice and mature. There are still plenty of seed pods on the plants which are not ready yet, but I'm not going to bother anymore. So I'm going to discard the plants, and you can see these seed pods are nice and green. Some of them are dry, but I want all of them to be dry enough to be able to collect seeds. So I'm going to put this seed tray in sunny spot, in a dry spot, so they can get all dry, and then I will collect my seeds. So it's been almost a week now, and you can see the seed pods have turned nice and brown. They are looking dry, so I'm going to collect the seeds, and this is not difficult. You want to squeeze open the seed pod and the seeds are in there, and you want to collect the seeds in a nice clean bowl which should be dry. So make sure there is no moisture, and basically that's all. So it's really easy process. Seeds are nice and big and there's not any chaff, so you don't need to worry about removing chaff. So as you can see, there are 7 to 8 nice size seeds in this seed pod, and you can estimate how many seeds are going to be there. So basically I'm going to collect all the seeds, and these seeds are really nice. I had like 3 varieties of sweet pea plants this year, and I had like 45 to 50 seeds, and half of them germinated. So if I get like hundreds of seeds here, you can see how many plants I can get. So I can give them to my friends and family, and this is really an economical way to get more and more plants, because not all seeds are cheap enough. Some seeds are really expensive, and sweet pea seeds are one of those. So here I'm going to collect all my seeds, and then I'll show you how to save them. So I have collected all my seeds. Some seeds are nice and ready, but there are still plenty of green seeds in there. So I'm gonna leave them in a dry sunny spot so they can get all dry. So this is after 2 days. You can see all of the seeds are nice and brown. They are dry enough now, so I can store them. If you save the seeds when they are not fully dry, the chances are they will rot or they will get moldy. So you don't want that to happen. You want to make sure that your seeds are fully dry. So first I let my seed pods dry for almost a week, and then I let my seeds dry for a couple of days. So it all depends on your climate. You need to work out what works for you. So basically you need to make sure that when you save your seeds. They are dry enough. I'm going to save them in this Ziploc bag, and make sure to label them with the name of the plant, name of the variety, and date you collected them, so you know what these seeds are. I hope I have discussed everything you need to know to grow your own sweet pea plants. So hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my gardening videos. You can also join my channel for extra perks. Thank you very much for watching today. See you next time. Bye.